Just going for a run before we start working on the cart, and this smoke from the wildfires is not making it easy at all. Good run before we start working on cars. It's pretty warm, it's like 26 out, and we have that smoke, so it's a little harder to run, but it's a good run. So let's get changed and get to working on the cars. So now let's get working on some cars. So what I'm thinking of doing today is we're gonna check out the Forester's window guides and see if that's what's been scratching the windows all along. So it's like the felt here, I have to clean this, I know that. I've already kind of cleaned that down just with some detailer or Armor All, just checking, and those guides look a little dirty, so I'm gonna clean those up. Those are probably what's causing a lot of the scratches that go up and down, so we don't want that on our tint, so we'll be fixing that. And I'll probably end up just taking the door card out to check how the mechanism works. Only one door probably, so we can just figure it out. And then if I see that it's only this top one, then we don't have to take all the doors apart. If it's more felt pads all the way along, we're gonna have to take them out and wash them. But let me just check quickly online and see what's the diagram looking like. Also check that out, the wiper arm is almost ready for primer. Just got a couple more spots I gotta smoothen out. So this was like really rough actually right here, and I sanded down to the metal and then kind of smoothed it out. And then we're gonna be laying some primer on that, and then once we have the primer dry, we're actually gonna sand it down and make it all smooth for the paint. And then I got this arm. This arm only has one bad spot. This one was like pitted in here and everywhere. This one's not as bad as it's just a flat piece. Anyways, I was looking at the windows themselves, and you can tell all the scratches are on the outside, which is good news for window tinting. And I think I figured out why it's scratching the windows so bad. So if you look, there's like two lips here. So this guy is covered in dust, and watch when I pull it back, it is brown in there. So it's just been through a lot of dirt and dust. You could definitely tell the previous owner off-roaded this Forester as it should be done, because there's a lot of sand and stuff just laying in places where usually if you daily drove it, it wouldn't be. The back windows aren't as scratched as much because this lip actually lays back. It doesn't actually lay on the window as much, where the front one, it's pressed up against the window, and then once you get sand on here and it rolls up, it just scratches the window. But this one, as I said, is farther away, but look at it, it's still disgusting. So I think I'm gonna get the air compressor, blow it out, and then see if I can clean it up maybe with a water and toothbrush. And then if we go over to the passenger side, about the same story. The back window is not bad, there's some scratches here and here. I might be able to get those out with our polish. These are way less than the ones on the back, so maybe the polish can take these out. Also, there's some swirls and stuff. I'll be interested to see if the polish takes out swirls. And then there's like these marks right here, which are from rolling down your window and then getting it caught. I think those are actually on the inside, but everything else is on the outside. And then if we look here, the passenger window is still not as bad as that one driver's window. It's the worst, but again, we can run our nail across and you can feel like this guy. You can actually hear it, so that's going to be a deep one that you won't be able to get out with polish. But some of these you should be able to because they're not that deep. And then if we go on the inside, I can run my nails across. And there's scratches. And they're not catching on the nail. So what that means is all our scratches are on the outside, which is exactly what I wanted, and it's good for putting on window tint. The safety glasses and the air compressor, so let's see if we cannot clean this up even a little bit. So that's what it looks like before, and that's what it looks like after. So it's a little bit cleaner. I'm gonna see if I can fill up the tank again and then maybe go over it once more. But it did actually take off some of the stuff. And check out how clean that is. That was just with the second pass. Wasn't with just the second pass. I ended up using a toothbrush and then taking some Fantastic and just scrubbing it, and actually that worked really well. So I think I'm going to do that down the whole side. And then since there's like 2 layers, so you have your outside and then you have your inside layer, the inside layer is the one probably scratching it. So what I'll end up doing, I think, is going to do the outside, then I'll do the inside, and then we should be actually kind of clean. And I'll just run the door up and down and see if that does anything, because you can definitely hear the rock scratching up and down when you're opening the window. So we'll see after we get it cleaned up a bit. So there we go, the window guides are all clean. Let's roll down the window here. So the outside's all clean, as you can tell, and same with that inner layer, so there's like the 2 layers. And then I tried to get this side, this felt wasn't bad at all. I still can't guarantee that it's clean, so I thought I might as well test something. So I'm going to put the window all the way up. I'm going to put some painter's tape on it, and then we're going to roll the window down and see if it makes any scratches in the painter's tape. Because the painter's tape simulates like window tint or window film. So there we go. It looks a little funny, but we got tape on this side and we got tape on the other side. The window tint will only be on this side, but I thought since the outside was the worst, we might as well test it out. So here we go. Okay, there's it all the way down. Let's roll it back up and see. I wonder if the tape's even going to stay. Oh, the tape all stayed. So let's check this out. So here's felt, which looks like it's felt from the guides, but it doesn't look like there's any scratches. Let's just take it off and check it out. So no scratches on that piece of tape. No scratches on that piece of tape, just a little bit of felt on the one edge. And now the outside. Okay, so here it looks like it's probably still a little dirty. It's leaving these marks, which also correspond with the scratches. That's not probably a good thing. But I think we're still good. Okay, let's check it. Oh, there's some weird marks there, but I think we're actually all good. As you see, there's some dirt, so it does show that there's some dirt on the guides in the bottom. But as I said, the outside is the part that doesn't have the tint on it, so we're technically fine with that. So since that worked kind of, or at least I think it worked, I'm going to do the other windows now since we have all the stuff out, and might as well. I completely forgot that the back windows don't roll down all the way because it is a 4-door. The window actually can't go all the way down, so it sits here. So I'm going to try to see if I can get to it. I think I can get to pretty much all of the felt, so we should be good. But if it doesn't work, I'll let you guys know. So we finally got all 4 windows / doors done on the Forester. So what I ended up doing, I had it down pretty good, is I would clean the front one, and then I'd go underneath and clean the one below that, clean that, and then I'd clean the back one. And between every set, I would actually use the air compressor and blow out any water or dust or anything. And then to finish it off, I would roll the window all the way up and then just spray a bunch of water. And the water actually comes out through the bottom of the door, so it kind of rinses it. But I'm just noticing now that there's still dust there, so it obviously didn't clean it up all the way. So eventually we're going to have to pull apart the door. But I'm thinking I'll do that when I get the new gussets, because these need to be replaced. And then we'll check the felt guides while we're in there. I'll probably just end up replacing them if they're cheap enough. It's getting a little bit windy for whatever reason. I don't see any storm clouds coming in. Well, because of the smoke, it's kind of hard. So I don't think I'll be painting because I don't want to get paint all over everyone's vehicles. So one thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to figure out how to find the command start. Because this car does have command start, as you can tell there. And there's these wires leading to the back. So I want to see what I can do so I can end up ordering a remote, and then I can have command start in the winter, which will be awesome because the Forester will be parked outside while the STI is in the garage. Also, another couple things I'll be doing besides window tint is I'll be putting the BBSs on, as you guys have already seen, and I'll be putting a mud flap. I'm not sure what mud flaps yet, so definitely if you guys have a recommendation for Forester mud flaps, I want really long ones, comment down below so I can check them out and see if I like them. Anyways, let's get to the command start. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this screw right here and see if I can not just move this whole panel out of the way, because I'm pretty sure the box is right here. There's actually one more screw right here that I'm going to remove, and I think this whole bottom piece will come out. And what did I tell you? There you go. Oh, it's hiding behind this bracket. Of course it is. So I can see the box, it's right there. If you look on this side, it's going to be hard to see. There, it's zip tied to another box, which I think is the 2 different modules that are required. But the problem is I can't read anything off of them. Also, check out the dust everywhere on this car. I'm gonna have to clean it up before I put it back. So I tried backing it off with some of these like really pointy things, and I had a zip tie here where I was practicing on, and it worked. But the problem is the zip tie in there doesn't have a little gap, so it actually doesn't work. So you know what I'm gonna do? Cable cutters, and we can figure out how to attach it later, I guess. integrated unit. So the back one isn't the one we want, because that's already been there, the USA Nals, whatever. This is the guy we're looking for, this little box right here. Auto trans only. So we have some numbers right here. There's some numbers right there. So I'm gonna look them up and see what it is. Now that we got the numbers off of the command start, I wrote them down on my phone so I can look for a remote for that. So programming it should be just based off of the remote and brake presses or gas presses or ignition. So I can put this back in. The problem is it was zip tied very randomly. I'm not sure exactly how they got it in there, so I'm going to try to zip tie it again and we'll see if that works. I just got myself some zip ties. I zip tied 3 together so I can put them around and then hopefully tighten it up so it doesn't fall off. And there we go, it's all tucked up in there. There's a white zip tie and then I just tucked up the harness. So I'm gonna wipe this guy off right here and then put it back and we should be good to go. And there we go, everything is put back together and now we can go get a remote. So it is getting dark now, so it's time to end the video, but anyways, I'm probably going to be picking up tint when you guys see this video, so let me know what you think for tint. I'm thinking 20, 30 as I said, and that's probably what I'll end up doing, unless someone has some crazy ideas. So until tomorrow, peace out, and stay humble.